9-inch eye sockets, jaws generating 33,000 psi. The deeper marine reptiles descended into the Mesozoic ocean, the deadlier they became, not merely adapted to depth, but rebuilt by it. And the transformation began where sunlight disappeared. Ichthyosaurus, the classic predator of the Jurassic shallows, carried eyes so large they dominated the skull, socket diameters reaching 9 inches across. In the fossil-rich Poseidonia shale, paleontologist Ryosuke Motani measured this orbital growth with precision. For every 100 meters deeper these reptiles hunted, their eye-to-skull ratio increased by about 1%. Even in full daylight, depth forced a transformation. The eye became a weapon. Its size, not a quirk, but a calculated response to water thick with shadow. At the surface, vision was sharp and familiar. With each meter down, the world blurred, and only those with supercharged sight could track prey. Here, in the sunlit zone, the first signs of depth's power appear, not as darkness, but as an anatomical escalation. The deeper Ichthyosaurus went, the more its eyes grew, setting the baseline for the sensory arms race that would follow in the abyss. Mosasaur did not just follow prey into the twilight. It brought its own heat. Oxygen isotope ratios in its tooth enamel, measured by Uppsala University, reveal a body temperature consistently 4 to 7 degrees Celsius warmer than the surrounding water, a metabolic offset far beyond cold-blooded fish and ammonites. This internal furnace turned the boundary between warm surface and cold depths into a private hunting ground. Where other reptiles slowed, Mosasaur surged on, its muscles and senses unblunted by the chill. In the half-light, this physiological leap was a weapon, a predator able to chase, strike, and outlast anything trapped between light and darkness. Plate Carpus offers a rare glimpse into how the brain itself was sculpted by the twilight zone. CT scans of its fossilized skull reveal optic lobes swollen far beyond the norm, regions dedicated to vision ballooned at the expense of the olfactory bulb, which withered into a narrow stalk. This was not a predator that sniffed its way through the gloom. Instead, Platycarpus was built to process every stray photon, its neural wiring bent toward extracting shape and movement from the dimmest flicker. The deeper it hunted, the more its cognition became a machine for sight, not scent. Here, the brain's architecture was no longer familiar. It was a map of darkness, tuned for a world where smell faded and vision became the only thread between hunter and prey. Far below the reach of sunlight, a different kind of predator moved through the water. Deep-water mosasaurs carried a secret not in their jaws, but in their skulls, a continuous channel that funneled seawater through the nasal cavity with every surge forward. Each beat of the tail forced chemical traces from the darkened world outside directly across the olfactory epithelium. The faster the animal moved, the more scent-laden water swept across its sensory lining, turning speed into a weapon for chemical detection. Here, vision faded, and chemistry became the dominant sense. The skull's internal hydraulics, shaped by pressure and darkness, allowed these reptiles to track prey invisible to the eye, reading the ocean's chemical code with every breathless glide. In this world, the hunt began not with sight, but with a rush of cold, scented water forced through a labyrinth of bone, a system built for silence, stealth, and the pursuit of the unseen. Elasmosaurus, drifting through the black water, turned geometry into a weapon. Its neck, longer than a city bus, 23 feet of vertebrae stacked in sequence, did not whip side to side or coil like a serpent. Instead, it moved with the slow precision of a periscope, rising silently through the gloom. Minimal lateral flexion kept the approach steady, a line drawn straight from shadow to prey. In the deep, speed was noise, shape was stealth. The neck's reach allowed the skull to break the surface of a school without warning. jaws closing before the body betrayed its presence. Darkness was not just endured, it was exploited, every joint and vertebrae engineered for the silent vertical strike. Bone became ballast in the deep. In the Pierre and Sundance shales, plesiosaurs reveal a secret written in their skeletons. Ribs and vertebrae thickened by more than 30% compared to their shallow water kin. This was pachyostosis, bone so dense it turned the animal into a living anchor, neutralizing buoyancy where lungs alone could not. Each vertebra pressed down against the weightless pull of the abyss, resisting the crush of 1,000 meters of water. The deeper the body, the heavier the frame. Only a skeleton built for pressure could hold its place in darkness, steady enough to strike with precision where light and gravity failed. In these depths, density was not just survival. It was a weapon, forging predators that could hover, stalk, and kill in a world where every movement counted. Pliosaurus funki was not a predator shaped by the deep, it was consumed by it. The skull alone stretched 1.5 meters, a weapon built for crushing, not slicing. Finite element estimates, though still awaiting peer-reviewed confirmation, put its bite force near 33,000 psi, 8 times the power of any living crocodile. This number is not a flourish, it is a threshold. At these depths, with pressure mounting and light gone, jaws became siege engines. No ammonite shell, no rival reptile bone could withstand the impact. The deeper the ocean, the more physics itself was pressed into service, bone, muscle, and tendon fusing into a single catastrophic mechanism. Here, lethality was measured not in speed or stealth, but in the raw, unyielding force that could end anything unlucky enough to cross its path. Nathalie Bardet's work draws the line with finality. Depth is not just a backdrop, it is the ultimate filter. In her framework, the deep ocean acts as a relentless sieve, stripping away generalists and leaving only the most specialized hunters to survive. Every descent is an act of selection, pressure, darkness, and cold combined to erase the familiar, forging predators that are not simply adapted, but fundamentally remade. The abyss does not tolerate compromise. Only those with bodies and senses honed for this world remain, each more alien and lethal than the last. In the ancient ocean, depth didn't just demand adaptation, it enforced transformation. Today, the deep still forges the alien and the lethal. Evolution's darkest crucibles remain unseen, and still they shape life.